If you clicked on this video, then you are probably feeling like myself and a lot of other people that you were not meant for this world. And I think we are probably right. We are living in a world that is like hell-bent on making us less and less human. So let's break it down and see why it might be that we're feeling this way. Our foods are fake. If you are what you eat, then we are ultra processed. And if you're spending your life white knuckling your willpower to avoid all these admittedly yummy foods, then that's not exactly natural either. Our clothes are synthetic. We clean ourselves and our houses with artificial chemicals. Increasingly more of us are injecting things into them or plastic surgerying themselves, a lot of times beyond human recognition. And if we're not doing it to ourselves, we're doing it to our photographs and our videos in some form of filters. Scientists are telling us that our brains are basically computers and that to live a good life, we just need to kind of reprogram our thoughts. And rational thinking has become the dominant way that we are expected to perceive the world. But it's only one cognitive mode among many that make us truly human. Our systems and governments don't view us as humans. They view us as numbers, as data and statistics. And most of the governmental sectors have standardized us into some elusive average human. Our political systems and our media will simplify every issue into two camps, and we organize ourselves into these two camps and proceed to dehumanize the ones in the opposite camp. So we don't even view each other as humans. Our progress is, for the most part, defined by economic growth type figures, not by things like quality of life, meaning, or fulfillment and happiness. Our culture is consumer culture. And what that means is our values are disposable. Our values are literally at any moment on their way to the junk pile. And our art and our music is increasingly digitally generated. And now, which is the saddest part of all for me, on Substack and Medium, we're all starting to sound the exact same and barely human. And a really sad part is that we no longer have freedom of attention. We no longer have freedom to see the world in our own unique ways. It seems like everything in modern life exists to capture our attention and to move us toward some or other behavior. So this literally feels like the age of dehumanization. We are living in a system that we did not consciously create, but we are deeply participating in it and perpetuating it. Some people are fully on board with this. Some people, like myself, are deeply disturbed by it, but a lot of us don't even notice that it's happening. If you're watching this, there is a good chance you feel this too, and that you realize that something ain't right. So then the question remains, what do we do about it? How do we start to shift things? I don't think the answer is to reject modern life at all. I just think that we need to become more conscious of how we are participating and maybe reflect on how we got here. And for me, that is predominantly like 4 different things. The first thing is for us to start understanding the history of ideas. Because if you start to kind of track how our worldview was formed, you'll see that it's really based on a succession of reactionary ideas. And it's quite fascinating, actually, that in the background of our sort of personal thoughts lie these pretty broad assumptions that are very outdated and sometimes do not reflect how we actually feel about the world. And so once we start to see this history of ideas and how they formed and how they were reactionary, we might more consciously participate in them. And I think a big part of this is reimagining early humans who quite obviously were more human than we were. The next thing I think is really important is to bring soul back into the picture. And for me, no discipline does this better than archetypal psychology, where we bring imagination back into the picture and remember our personal aesthetic response to the world before our brain gets a hold of it. I also think this means reconnecting to the cosmos, the sky and the earth. I don't believe this is optional to be a human. We need to understand ourselves as embedded within the natural world. And finally, I think that it is important for us to remember cosmology. And again, not just in a scientific way, in a felt way, in a way that we can personally connect to the mystery of being alive. And so this is what this channel is going to be all about. Not like escaping the modern world, but becoming more human within it, like reimagining how to be human again. So if you're recognizing some truth in what I'm saying, then please do all the things to stay with me, and I look forward to our journey.